these Invictus Games. Mr. President, what can you tell us about you being honorary chairman of these games this year?
Well, I'm honored to be honorary chairman.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled to be able to support our vets who are competing in these games, starting with the captain of the team, Will. I have spent a lot of time with veterans, and I've come to this conclusion that vets are a huge asset for the future of our country. And the challenge is, how do we help them transition from military life to civilian life? Mm-hmm. And the Invictus Games gives the Bush Center a chance to do just that by talking about the unseen wounds of war. These men and women come back, some of them with all their body parts. Will didn't, but they're still struggling. And we want to know why, what we can do to help. I mean, how do you help erase the stigma, and whether or not the health care they're getting is worthy of their problems. And Invictus Games can be a great platform for us.
Yeah. Captain Reynolds, you've only been able to get like 4 or 5 masters you've got, since you've come back in degrees, which is pretty amazing, your story. But a lot of people do know your story, but for people who don't, I mean, you went through, 26 surgeries, everything that you've gone through. Tell us a little bit about that, but also the Invictus Games, what it does, and then do you feel pretty good about your team? You're a team captain in the Invictus Games. Do you all have some decent athletes?
Yeah, we have a lot of decent athletes. I'll start with the team. The team has been training really hard. Everybody is really, excited and honored to be selected, and that only increases the intensity in which you're training with to beat our fellow service members from other countries. I think everyone's been through a really long road for recovery, but one of the things that gets us through that recovery road is setting those goals and milestones that mentors, medical providers put before us. And a lot of us have used Invictus Games and Warrior Games as that next goal or milestone to strive for, and it's just another thing that helps you reach that full rehabilitative potential.
And what events what do you compete in these games?
I compete in cycling and track and field.
Yeah, so he said he's a pretty good cycler, so we have this event at the ranch called the W100.
Yes.
100-kilometer, 3-day ride, and Will's going to be down there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to riding with him.
Yes, sir.
He's fit, I can tell you. It's hard to see on radio, but you're fit.
Yeah. Since we've last talked, I've tried to get into that Dorba that you told us about, the off-road event.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to get in there. And I've asked them, just to sign up, and can it notify me when you're out with them so I can come out.
So maybe what you ought to do is sign up for this W100.
Ooh, I would love that.
You think you can hang?
That sounds a little rich for Mosley, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, as you corrected me last time a little bit. I'm the road bike kind of thing, but I think I could transition now. The deep water ravines on your ranch.
Yeah.
I think I could struggle with.
Yeah, you can get over there. What do you think, Will? Taking a look at him, you think he's got what it takes?
I think you can do it.
That a boy, yeah, that's good.
I think Will is being too kind.
I do too.
Now, how many different countries do wounded warriors come from to compete in these games?
We have 14 different countries in Invictus Games.
Okay. They started in England, is that correct? Prince Harry?
Prince Harry, yeah.
He had the first one?
Yeah, he did.
And is he part of this?
Yes, he is.
He's with you as a co-chairman?
Yeah, the group in America that's really been helpful is Fisher House. They've been incredibly generous for our vets. They help these vets transition, particularly right upon, and their families when they get hurt. And I suspect they helped your family a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were staying right at the Fisher House on Walter Reed. I had over 100 days inpatient at Walter Reed, and my family was able to stay at a Fisher House.
Yeah. And so they're the ones really raising the money for this event, and we really appreciate it. They're good people, really good people. What Will didn't say is the challenge is a little steep. Since last Invictus Games, they got skunked on the gold medals. Great Britain swept every event.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So we're not going to let that happen this year.
Do you sort of feel like Prince Harry stacked the deck, though, a little bit with what he's doing over there?
A couple of Olympians.
Yeah. Was there some cheating going on?
No.
By the Brits?
Have you met the royals? Have you gotten to Captain Reynolds? Have you met any of the royal family and that kind of thing?
I've had the opportunity to meet Prince Harry and Prince William.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
They were handing out medals last year.
You know what? I was the president of the United States, and I've never met either of them.
That will change in a couple weeks, sir.
He's moving. Will's moving.
You were at the Windsor Castle, I'm sure, at some point.
But I was with their grandmother, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh,
Just turned
90?
And
And I know their father.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
just turned 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Rochester, New York.
There you go. And do you know that I gave his graduation speech from West Point in 2002?
Is that right?
He remembered me. I'm not sure I remembered him, but
How did he do on the induction? I mean, was it a little long on the?
It was perfect. We were graduating at a difficult time, and we were prepped to lead in some difficult times after hearing the commencement speech.
Did he have any, I don't want to say stumbles, but he occasionally was famous for
a slight malapropism occasionally.
for Bushisms.
Hey, let me tell you something.
We were all on cloud nine. We wouldn't have
Hey,
even
let me tell you
noticed.
something. If you're the commander in chief and stumble at West Point, they're going to cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience, and as Will reminded me, I shook hands with every graduate, and I wanted to look them in the eye, and I wish every American could do that because it's incredibly impressive.
And you do a lot of golf events with Wounded Warriors as well.
As
Is
well,
that an annual event, or is it more than? How often is that?
Annual, and it's a remarkable experience to see a fellow who's on one leg shoot one over par on 72 holes. Chad Pfeiffer. This guy can play golf.
1 over par.
Yeah, and the biking is unbelievable. This all started when I ran into a guy in BAMC in San Antonio. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, his name was Chris Self. He said, "I'm getting a new prosthesis." I said, "What for?" He said, "I ride mountain bikes." I said, "Oh, man, you ride mountain bikes?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why don't you come to my ranch and ride?" And next thing I know, I'm watching a guy on one leg kind of sprint past me on these pretty difficult trails.
Chris Self was a sergeant major in the special operations, and he was the captain of the first Invictus team for the U.S.
And was in combat twice on one leg.
Oh my!
You know, so some of these people that get hurt are able to go back to their units. Sondheim, who rode with us, West Point grads, now colonel, he's now back commanding a special forces unit on one leg. It's remarkable, the courage and willpower of these vets. Here's one right here.
Yeah,
Captain Will.
I would say so. Do you encourage them like on the Warrior 100? I've heard you like do some Elvis impersonations, Mr. President,
Well, I'm
during it. And, yeah,
I'm a team builder, and I'm a needler, and they needle back. But no, it's really fun. And it's hard riding, and when you're through, at least when I'm through, I'm tired. And there's some very good athletes there. Plus, we've had a fellow Brown. He came and was on a hand cart, lost both legs and his arm, and but rides with us, and we have a trail for him. And Melissa Stockwell is a woman who lost her leg in combat. I don't know if you know Melissa Will. Yeah, she's on the team.
I know Staff Sergeant Brown and Melissa Stockwell pretty well.
Yeah, they're great. And,
all right.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting that he knows?
Yeah.
Tim Brown's a legend. He's a EOD tech, and he's a triple amputee, like President Bush mentioned.
Yeah.
My goodness.
He's an interesting guy, and obviously determined. And he's going to make somebody a good employee.
So, Will, do you see some gold medals coming around this time? Do you think there's some gold for the U.S. this time?
There's going to be a lot of personal records, and I hopefully they translate into some gold.
Well, let me ask you this. In the track and field, what's your event?
I run all the events, sir.
Yeah, see?
All of them.
Let's just hope you get rest in
That's what I was
between the
gonna
events.
say.
will
Is
you?
there any downtime? Yeah, between some of the events, hopefully. Yeah.
Just after the week.
Okay.
Now, these are in Orlando in a couple weeks, May, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
A couple weeks in Orlando.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
May 9th through 12th.
Yeah.
And we want to thank ESPN for showcasing this event.
Right.
I mean, in doing so, you're really helping our vets. Not only our vets, but vets from around the world. And one of the things that we've got some really good research going on and some good ideas, and we want those ideas not only to exist here in the U.S., but we want other countries to learn of them as well. So there'll be officials from the respective VAs from these different countries will be there, and I think it's going to be a good learning experience for everybody.
Yeah, it is amazing. We look forward to the Invictus Games. I have to say, Mr. President, I saw Jenna, your daughter, recently at a Milestones luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
She's incredible.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, but just off
She
the cuff.
spoke, right?
Huh? Yeah,
spoke?
she was
She was
like, and it was the Junior League of Dallas Milestones luncheon, and some friends of yours for years were up there on the podium with them. Dee Rhodes, and some of these others, and she was very, very funny.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I just
She's you should have seen her as a teenager.
Funny in a different way, though.
Yeah, it wasn't funny, haha. It was. Anyways, thank you. She's now the mother of two of our only grandchildren, Mila and Poppy Louise. She's done really well, and Laura and I are very proud of her, and her twin sister Barbara.
Yes, very much.
Yeah,
so.
they're doing good. Thank you.
What about you as a grandfather? I mean, is this
Doting?
something?
I'm doting. Yeah, they call me Jefe, which, as you know, when you translate to Spanish, is the boss. By the way, I'm going out to the game tonight. Looking
I was
forward
going
to
to say, what are your thoughts on the Rangers after a rough weekend in Chicago?
Very rough. It reminds me of how up and down these seasons can go.
Yeah.
We'll see. I like their offense. Will you Darvish come back and be the ace? And it's been a little rugged in the bullpen initially, but that's one of the strengths of the ball club. Anyway, it's nothing like going out to the ballpark.
No, it's fun.
Will's probably a Yankee fan, so.
That's right, Rochester.
Braves fan, sir.
Huh?
Braves fan.
There you go.
Yeah, they're having a down time, Will. Yeah.
Yeah, have they won a game yet?
Hang
John
in there
Hart's
on that.
doing a good job there.
Yeah, they'll turn that. They'll turn that thing around. What do you think about this budding Astros Rangers rivalry? And do you still talk to Nolan, even though he's on kind of the dark side now?
No, I have. I saw him. We did an event here with Nolan because we were promoting baseball and the presidency, and we had we had Roosevelt's letter to the commissioner of baseball saying, let's play ball during World War II. And Nolan came and he had a conversation with Tom Grieve, and it was really, really entertaining and fun. That's the last time I saw him. We're still fast friends. I'm just sorry that I can't go sit next to him in a ball game because it was really fun to do that. I think the rivalry is good. I grew up as initially a Colt 45 fan, and was long-time suffering Astros fan. I remember the '80 series very well when they lost to Philadelphia, and the '86 Mets playoff.
Right.
But I have no desire to cheer for them when they play the Rangers. They're good. They got a good young club.
Yeah.
You went to Cold Stadium. That wasn't much of a stadium.
No, it was unbelievable. But guess what? For a baseball fan, I was raised in Midland. Of course, we had nothing close to a Major League fan. To be able to see a Major League Baseball game was fantastic, but it was brutal, particularly a day game. It was hot. And the night games had giant mosquitoes. They looked like swallows, Will. But baseball is great. So what are some of the other sports that are interest there?
They're going to have wheelchair basketball, seated volleyball, swimming, archery, wheelchair rugby. So 10 different great sports.
Oh, fantastic. Men and women?
Men and women.
Will Melissa be there?
Melissa will not be there. She's pretty busy training for Rio.
Yeah, she wins gold. I thought gold, or she did well at the Paralympics. And plus she just had a child.
That's right.
Yeah.
She'll be back out there in Rio.
As captain of the team, what do you do? What do you do as captain? Do you give speeches to fire them up? Do you put people in different events?
Yeah, all the typical things a captain would do. So, be that interface between the athletes and the managers and coaches. And like you said, just provide motivation and make sure everyone's a good sport and having a great time at the event.
There's not a lot of trash talking with the other countries in these events?
That's going to happen.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good.
It's already started with the Brits.
Especially with England.
Yes.
They're kind of cocky after last time, right?
That's right.
Do you think President Bush can help being there? I know he's going to be there on the 8th for a symposium, an incredible symposium you're putting on. Do you think he'll go around and maybe would you have him help you? Maybe a co-captain for you if he would offer that.
Absolutely. We're hoping the president will march out on opening ceremonies with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be there for the opening ceremonies,
Nice.
It's going to be great.
You gave a speech to the 99 Ryder Cup team that turned that whole thing around.
According to Ben Crenshaw, all I did was read Travis's letter from the Alamo. We're surrounded by the enemy, help. Yeah, I think Crenshaw did that because we're dear friends, and I was, kind of being touted to be the Republican nominee, and so he wanted me to look good. So he claimed my speech motivated the players. I don't really view it that way, but it was. I also gave the Ryder Cup speech at Medina, and that was the next day they blew a rather significant lead. So I'm not so sure. I've also spoke at three SMU before SMU openers. One against Baylor, two against Baylor, and one against A&M, and so my pregame speeches haven't been all that successful.
You should stick to SMU basketball and stay away from football.
It's very fun. So, Will, you better be careful inviting me to speak. I mean, I'd be glad to stand there and let you do the speech. You should hear how articulate he is. I mean, he was out there. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can tell. Now, do you have any thoughts today? The national news, Tom Brady, his suspension has been reinstated. And
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Well,
the U.S. District Court.
Court of Appeals said that they do have a way, they cited on the way of Commish.
This is
Roger
the football?
Goodell. This is correct.
He's got the
They
4-game
said
suspension again.
He has the right. They have the right to suspend him underneath the CBA.
Yeah.
They agreed to. And so the first 4 games of the season, once again, has been reinstated.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I find that somewhat startling.
We thought that story had gone away.
Yeah, I did. It's it's the question is it based upon what actually happened, or is it based upon the law?
Yes.
It's
I think it's number
interpretation.
2.
Yeah.
I think it's number 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Cowboy draft. I was trying to get some inside information from Tim.
Was Tim able to offer you anything? I noticed you asked.
Well,
me
not
something when you
really.
walked
I've been pretty well shut out of the inner circle there now.
That happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I was about to say.
When Jimmy left,
Once I lost Jimmy.
ended up being a struggle for him a little bit. Who would you like to see him number 4 overall? Do you have a thought? Maybe Ezekiel Elliott, the running back out of Ohio State, likes to show his midriff.
Well, it's just like the Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I don't. I just hope they win. I mean, I like the Cowboys, and I know Jones pretty well and like him. The guy's really done a fabulous job of marketing that stadium. It's amazing what happens out there. Right. And he was telling me the other night about World Wrestling, World Federation of Wrestling.
Yeah, WWE, yeah.
Had over 100,000 people.
109 or something.
Right.
So I go to the ball game the next day, and one of these monsters is there. This guy, unbelievably polite guy. He's like 309 pounds, 6'11". And I'm saying to myself, man, this is one big dude. And I wish I could remember his name. It's like the Bruiser or the something.
Did you have a favorite wrestler growing up? Were you ever into...
Yeah, my favorite of all time was Ernie Ladd.
Played for the Houston Oilers.
He did, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I knew Ernie.
Yeah.
I used to work in an inner city program in Houston, and Ernie was involved with it. And so when he finished his football, he became a wrestler. Right. And the other was Wahoo McDaniel. So in Midland, Texas, when I was in the 6th grade, 5th grade, the great running back for the Midland Bulldogs was Wahoo McDaniel. Went on to OU, New York Jets, and then became they're not wrestlers, they're wrestlers.
Yeah, wrestlers.
And so I was big supporters of Ernie, the Big Cat Lad, and Wahoo McDaniel.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff.
We really appreciate it, and Captain Reynolds, just unbelievable to get to meet you and all that you've accomplished. It's kind of humbling, Tim, to go out there and get all the degree in public administration or public health.
4 kids, wife and 4 kids as well.
That's correct.
My
wife's a Cowboys fan actually, and she's raised my daughters to be Cowboys fans.
Oh, all right.
You got 4 daughters?
No, 3 daughters, sir.
I've
got my son. We're Eagles fans.
There you go. Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, let's.
Good luck with that second pick.
Yeah.
It's the only one you got left.
Wentz. All right. Well, we can't wait for the Invictus Games, and then of course the symposium that's done through the Bush Institute, but it'll happen in Orlando, and that's about the invisible wounds that happen in war, and I think it's going to be an incredible event. And then the opening ceremonies and all of that. We're looking very forward to it. And really appreciate you guys having us over here.
And thanks so much.
Yeah. And if we could start doing this perhaps every Monday,
we'll just come on over.
That way you won't have to worry about your programming.
we would love it, yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you.